Hey guys, Linda here. Welcome back to Adore All. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Coming to you with a update today, a July update, because I'm not going to do a wrap up. I won't do a wrap up to the end of August. So this will be my July update. Letting you know what I read. I still got my book here. I wrote down what I've read so far in July. I've read 10 books so far. So let's get started. The first one was Bed Me Earl. I think in my other video, I mentioned that I discovered a new writer, Felicity Niven. So of course I had to go and see what else she had wrote. And she has wrote 3 books in the Bed Me series. And of course, you know, I read out of order. I read book 3, Bed Me Earl. This was my favorite out of all of the books. Out of the 3 books in the series, really did enjoy this. I gave this a 4 stars, a high 4 star, 4.5 star. Really did enjoy it, and I think I mentioned in my last video that I like how she write her characters, her male and female characters. They're unique. There's something different about, because in this one, the female is very tall, and the male, he's shorter than the female. So that when I read the synopsis, here's the synopsis. You can read it. When I read the synopsis and I found out that he was going to be shorter than the female, I was like, okay, I'm all in. And I really did enjoy this. The female in this one, she meets the male character at her come out ball. You learn this as the story go on. It's not a scene or anything. You just learn this from her thinking about how she met this, and she's always had a crush on him since then, because he was the first guy to ask her to dance, because she's so tall, and some of the other guys, because she's taller than most of the guys, most of them, and she's not a beauty queen. She's average, and she's tall, and he was the first one. The guy that she liked, he is her brother's friend, and her brother had asked his friends to dance with his sister, and the main male character was the first one to dance with her at this ball, and she's always had a crush on him. So when this started out, he is visiting their home. Some of her brother friends are visiting their home, and she ends up, because she feels like she's never going to meet anyone, so she ends up going to his room one night, and you can imagine what happened from there. And I forgot to mention that Felicity, in my other video, I forgot to mention that Felicity Niven, she writes some very steamy books, so this was very steamy. I give this 4 or 5 chili peppers. So if you don't like a lot of steam, I'll mention it again, if you don't like a lot of steam in your books, these books by Felicity Niven won't be for you, because some of her books have a lot of steam, and this one had a lot of steam, and I really enjoyed it. This is Bed Me Earl. I gave this a high 4.5 star, and this is in the Bed Me book series, and this is book number 3. So when I read this, I wanted to go back and read the other 2 books, and there's the if you want to read the synopsis, there's the synopsis. How many pages was in here? It was 364 pages. And like I said, she's a new author for me. I really enjoyed this, so I had to buy it. But the other 2 I didn't buy. I read those on the Kindle. They're on Kindle Unlimited for free if you want to go check them out, if you have Kindle Unlimited. So I went back and read book number... No, next I read Beg for Me by J.T. Geissinger. Let me pull that up. Here it is right here. This came out and I wanted to read it. And most of these books, I'm all off the TBR. Yeah, I'm all off the TBR. I think I might have read about 1 or 2 books from the TBR. I'm not for sure, but I'll let you know which book was on the TBR. But this one was not on the TBR. And Bed Me Earl was not on the TBR either. So this came out in the month of, I think it came out in July. And so I wanted to read it. This is book number 3 in the Morally Gray series. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars. It really didn't do it for me. This is on a older female, and the guy is younger. I think she's 10 years older than he is. And they work for competing companies. And he saw her in an interview, and he had a crush on her, and he always wanted to meet her. So you learn that in the meeting, they had a meeting. I think his company wanted to buy out her company, or they wanted to do something together, but it didn't work out. And he only set that up because he wanted to meet her. And he done did a lot. I don't want to go through all of what he do to finally meet her, but then they finally get together, and she's been married before and she's divorced. It was okay. I don't know. Something was missing for me. It was okay. I just gave it 3 stars. Content in here. There's some sexual content in the book. If you want to check it, if that's not for you, this book probably won't be for you. But if you don't mind that, and it's a morally gray, these men they'll do anything to get their women, even if it's maybe not legal for them to be doing it. Like I said, I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. And then I went back to the Bed Me series. Let me get that book. I read book number 1. I went back and read book number 1. Let me find book number 1. And here is book number 1, Bed Me Duke. I have to go. Let me go look and see what this was about because I can't remember it. But I gave it a high 3.5, 4 star. It's been a while since I read these. So let's see what the synopsis said on this one. Let's see here. Maybe to jog my memory, a desperate Scottish countess seeks seduction lessons from a gorgeous rogue. Captain Jack Pike enjoys a blissfully carefree existence as London's richest and most notorious rake, becoming the Duke of Dunmore. Okay, I remember this now. I did enjoy this one. This is on, and this one, he finds out that he becomes a duke. Let me go back and pull the picture up right quick. I just needed something to jog my memory. Like I think I mentioned on here, don't get old because your memory start going. Oh my goodness. It had to really make an impression on me. And I did really enjoy this one. But it's been a while since I read it. On this one, the guy becomes a duke. He's inherited some land over in Scotland. So he ends up going to Scotland to find out what he's inherited. And he don't tell anybody that he's the duke or anything. Nobody knows. He comes there and act like he coming to check out everything for the duke. He's his secretary or whatever. And there he meets his next door neighbor. She wants the main male character to introduce her to the duke or help her get the duke's attention, and he's the duke all the time, but he didn't tell her. So it's going to go from there. It's all about them, her finally finding out that he's the actual duke. And I really did enjoy it. Like I said, I gave it a high 3.5, 4 star. I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it enough to actually want to buy the book. But like I said, I think I mentioned that you can read these on Kindle Unlimited. Her books are free if you have Kindle Unlimited. So I read that one. And then I read the second book in the series, which is Bed Me Baron. Here it is right here. I read this one. I'm going to have to go back and read what this one was about to jog my memory. Let me see here. See what this one says. Lady Phoebe Finch has waited long enough. She's a grown woman, more than ready to be a wife and mother. If she must give up on the man she's loved all her life, so be it. Okay, it sparked my memory now. I know what this one is about. Let's go back and get the picture here. Pull it back up. Let's see here. Okay, this one is on her and the main male character. They've always been friends since they were kids. He was there when she was born, and he always felt like, he had to take care of her. He always thought of her like his sister or whatever. But so when she finally grown and stuff, they always play chess together. He's taught her everything that how to play chess. And just to say, they've always they grew up together. And when she finally gets engaged, he started feeling kind of funny, like, what is this? Because he don't think he's in love with her. He don't think he have feeling for her. And then she come to him and make a deal with him when they play chess. She said, if I win, I want you to initiate me into showing my husband, I want you to initiate me to, and you know where I'm going with this. So they end up making out. So it's gonna go from there. Him finally realizing what he wants, that he really wants her, that he's in love with her, because she's always been in love with him, but he just never realized it because he felt like, you know, he shouldn't be having those feelings for her. And I think he talked to her father because they was always hanging out together, and I think her mother kind of felt kind of funny with her as she got older, still hanging out with him, playing chess with him alone. And I think her father talked to him about, you know, especially with her getting older and being an older woman, becoming a woman, and he just wanted to make sure nothing was going on between them. And the main male character, you know, he would never do anything like that. That's why he felt like he wasn't having any feelings for her, but when she becomes engaged, he's gonna realize that he wants her for himself. And like I think I mentioned in the other video that with Felicity, Niven's character, she always have character, because in this book, the main male character, he has went bald. He's bald. He's been wearing a wig and stuff like that, and he has lost his hair. And the main female character tell him that she likes him without his wig. After they've been fooling around a little bit, and she tells him she likes him without his wig, so he stopped wearing his wig for her. And that's what I mean by these are not the standard hero and heroine that you usually read about. Like I said, these characters have some, because I've never really, in historical books, I've never really read a book about where the main male character was bald. Yeah, I was like, okay. Yeah, she got me hooked. So I was like, she's gonna be a favorite author of mine. So I read this. I gave it a high 3.5, 4-star. Really, really enjoyed this. So if you haven't read any, if you like historical, if you don't mind a lot of sexual content in your books, I highly, highly recommend Felicity Niven's. Go and check her out. It's 3 books in this series. The first book was Bed Me Duke. The second book is Bed Me Baron, and the third book was Bed Me Earl. And you can tell I bought the book. This was my favorite out of the whole series, the Bed Me series. That's my favorite. I did enjoy these other 2 books. But if you haven't read her, check her out. And then next I read Fancy. I have the book here. I finally read Norah Hess Fancy. This is a historical Western. Let's see how many pages were in here. Here's the synopsis, if you want to check it out. There's Norah Hess. I might have showed you how many pages in here, but it was 441 pages. I just gave this 3 stars. It was okay. It's a historical Western. These 2 characters, yeah, they were getting on my nerve because all they did was bicker. Bicker in this book, but I like the setting. This was set in a logging camp. The main male character, he owns a logging company, and Fancy, her father has passed away, and she has a nephew. He's grown though, but he had an accident when he was a kid. He had a brain injury, so he's in a grown man body, but he still has the mind of a child. So she having to take care of him. So she come to this mining camp and get a job at the dancing hall where they dance with men for money. And some of the other women do other stuff, but Fancy, she just danced with the men and leave. But so one night, the main male character come in and she danced with him, and he propositioned her, and she slaps him, and then from there, all they did was bicker. And then they find out that they have something in common. Fancy's sister is married to his brother. Fancy and the main male character get a letter saying that they have a nephew. And that's how they find out they both have a nephew. So they're going to go from there, them bickering because she want to keep the boy and he want to keep it. And she ends up moving in with him. It was just a lot going back and forth. I didn't like that too much. I was like, can't we all just get along? Okay, I gave it I give it a 3 stars or a 3.5. But that's as far as me wanting to read this again. No, I don't want to read it again. It was an okay read. And this was Norah Hess Fancy. And here's the synopsis, in case you want to check it out. And there is sexual content in here. It wasn't over the top or anything. I would give it like 2 chili peppers. But it was in one of the scenes, the sex scenes, it was some like non-consent going on. Yeah, I was like, okay. So that's Norah Hess Fancy. And then sorry, I'm hitting the camera here. Pull that back over a little bit. Hope you can see my book here. It's rocking back and forth. It's not stable. My camera is sitting on this thing is not very stable. Next, I read Black Wolf. This is a new author to me also. I've found quite a few new authors lately. And this author is named Isabel Kent. Really did enjoy this. I gave this a 4.5, and I actually bought the book. This is another Western. I told you I'll be looking for historical, Western, whatever I can find on Amazon. And I found this author. This called, what drew my attention to this was this cover. Look at this cover. And I was like, I hope this book is good. So I went and read the synopsis. It sounded good. So I was like, let me read it. I read it. Really enjoyed it. Isabel Keith, Black Wolf. I love this cover. Here's the synopsis if you want to check it out. Let's see how many pages in here. 290 pages. Really did enjoy this. This is on the male character. He's a bounty hunter. He's going, I think he was going back to his home to visit his sister, or he was, I forgot what he was doing, but as he was heading back wherever he was going, he heard a scream, and he comes across this female. She's wrestling with these two guys because they're trying to rape her. He ends up killing those two guys and saving her life, but he don't want to be bothered. Yeah, he's one of those moody, silent type. He saves her, and then he just get back on his horse and get ready to leave, and he feels somebody following him, and it's her. She's following him because she was kidnapped as a child by Native American. Her family, I think they was on a wagon train going west, and the wagon train got attacked. She ends up getting taken, and she's been living with the Native Americans since she was small, and he ends up asking her would she follow him, and she had a dream about him, and I guess one of the Native American women, they was like they could tell stuff, and she told one of the women her dream, and one of the women told her that, you know, if she ever come across a black wolf, because he all dressed in black, and she had a dream about him, and she called him the Black Wolf. That's why it's called Black Wolf, because she called him Wolf throughout this, because she had a dream that she was supposed to follow him, so that's why she started following him, and it's all about him find another guy who got to realize that he actually have feeling for her, because she's young I think she may be in her teens when he finds her, and she ends up going back with him to visit his sister, and he never try anything with her because he just feel like she's too young or whatever, but as she grows up and stuff like that, it's going to go from there, and as she get older, and you know, she get old enough for him to start having feeling for him, and other stuff happened in this. I really did enjoy this. I highly recommend it. There's some sexual content, but it don't happen to almost when this book is almost over, because like I said, he waits till she grow up before he have anything that, you know, sexual going on between them. But it wasn't over the top. It wasn't a lot. I give it 2 chili peppers, or maybe 1 or 2 chili peppers. That's it. Because like I said, it don't happen until almost at the end of the book. Really did enjoy this. I gave it a high 4.5. I gave it a 4.5. Really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. If you like historical, if you like Westerns, yeah, really enjoyed this. And I'll show you the synopsis again. Check it out and see if you want to read it or not. And it's not that many pages. How many did I say? 200 and some pages. Go back and look. 290 pages. Really did enjoy this. A new author for me. I will be checking out some of her other books. This is Isabel Keith's Black Wolf. And what else did I read? I read another Isabel Keith book. It's a historical. It's called Atonement, and I read that on Kindle. So let me find that. Here it is, and I love these covers. This right here is in a series. This is in the Angels and Demons series, I think. Aristocrats and Sinners series. This is book number, I read out of order. This is book number 2, because I read the synopsis of all 3 of them, and I really enjoyed this synopsis. And this is going to be on, I guess you could say, I don't want to say they enemies to lover, but the main male character meets the female character. They're at a house party, and in the house party they usually back in the day, they usually stay for, in those days they didn't have no TV and none of that stuff. So it was a lot of visiting people and staying and having parties and staying a whole week at this house party. So it's one of those where they stayed a whole week at the house party, and when it starts, he's thinking about this female that he's met who he don't get along with, and it's going to be their story, and they're going to get caught in a compromising situation, and he's going to want to marry her, but she was like, nope, not having it. And he wakes up the next morning after he done talk to the people who were having a house party about them getting married, because they were caught in it wasn't a big compromising situation. It's just what they caught in a little compromising situation. And she was like, nope, I'm not marrying you. And he wakes up the next morning and find out that she's left. She was like, she's left and went home. And he ends up going back to London, but he don't let it end there. He writes to her grandfather, and it's going to go from there, because he's going to end up going and visiting her and her grandfather, and he's going to end up staying there, because he was like, I'm not leaving, you're going to be my wife. I need to save your reputation. So it's going to be about them going back and forth. I really, really did enjoy this. I love the banter between the two main characters, and I would give the steam in here maybe 1 or 2 chili peppers, nothing over the top, and it didn't happen right away. They get to know each other first. There's a little kissing and stuff going on, but nothing happened until it's almost like at the end. I think after I don't want to tell you what happened, but it's almost at the end when they do finally get together. I really, really enjoyed it. There's another Isabel Keith's book. She wrote I found out she wrote historical. I was like, I'm on it. And I did download the other 2 books to read, so I'm just waiting to read these other 2 books in the series. But I really like this synopsis, so that's why I read this first. This is book 3 in the Aristocrats and Sinner series. Highly, highly recommend this. I am going to purchase this because I'm going to purchase this for this cover here. Look at this cover. Beautiful. I love this cover. Simple, but eye-catching. So I read that. Did I tell you what I gave it? I gave it a 4 stars. I gave this 4 stars. Really, really did enjoy this. And I will be purchasing the Book of Atonement by Isabel Keats. And then next I read Mississippi Madness by Eugenia Riley, a historical set in New Orleans, I think. This was okay. I gave this 3 stars. It was the main male character. He was doing a little bit too much for me. In this one, the female meets the main male character when her supposedly husband that they just married threw her off the riverboat. And the main male character see this woman out in the water, and he jumps out there and saves her. He done fell in love, instant love. He instantly want to marry her and all that stuff like that. I was like, oh my goodness, you doing too much. And he was very pushy with it. I was like, no. So this is going to be about him trying to help, him trying to convince her to marry him trying to help her get her divorce, get an annulment, because her and her husband, they didn't. On the wedding night, he threw her overboard. I don't want to get into why he did that. I don't want. If you want to read this, I don't want to. I think I done said enough, but it's gonna be about these 2 characters right here. Him, the main male character, trying to help her get a divorce, and also trying to find this husband that she married and find out where he went to and what's going on with that situation. So it was okay. I gave it a 3 stars. Eugenia Riley, Mississippi Madness, a historical. Let's see how many pages was in this one. This was 336 pages. It was okay. Nothing I want to go back and read again. I won't be reading this again. This is Mississippi Madness by Eugenia Riley, and I gave it 3 stars. And last but not least, I got 2 more here. I read A Curious Beginning. This is a historical mystery. I'm on my historical mystery kick. So let me find that. Here it is right here, A Curious Beginning. This is in the Veronica Speedwell mystery, a historical mystery. Really, really did enjoy this. I gave this a 4 star. This is going to be on Veronica Speedwell. She's like an adventurous. She's just been going off traveling all by herself. She loves butterflies, so she always be trying to catch butterflies and stuff like this. So she's back home because the women that she stayed with, she always thought she was an orphan. She stayed with these two. She called them her aunts. She stayed with these two women. Both of them has passed away. The last one passed away, so she's home for the funeral, and she ends up going back to her house after the funeral, and someone has broken into her house. She run into the culprit. They get into an entanglement, and then this guy shows up out of nowhere and helps her escape from this guy. So she ends up leaving because he tell her he know who her mother is. So she want to find out who is this guy and what he know about her mother and what he know about her past, because she's always, thought she was just a foundling and come from a home and stuff like that. And she finds out that this guy knows about her mother, and he want to take her back to London with him to keep her safe, because he know why this man was attacking her. And he tell her he's going to leave her with this friend of his until he can find out what is really going on. And then he'll explain everything to her about why this guy attacked her. So he ends up dropping her off with the main male character. So that's how she meets the main male character. She ends up staying with him, and it's going to go from there. There's no sexual content at all. This is, in these historical mysteries, just be a long, slow burn. This is an ongoing series. I think it's 10 books in this. Well, it's 8 books in the series. 8 or 9 books in the series so far. I have requested all of them from the library, so I should be getting them pretty soon, because I really, really did enjoy this. I want to see where the relationship going to go, and I really enjoyed the banter between the two main characters. And when you find out why they're trying to kill her and stuff like that, it was very, very interesting. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. If you haven't read Deanna Raybourn, if you like a historical mystery, you like romance, but you don't like the sexual content, this will be great. It's a historical, you got some mystery going on, and you got good banter between the two main characters. Really, really did enjoy this. This is A Curious Beginning and this is book number 1 in the Veronica Speedwell mystery. If you haven't read it, check it out. And then last but not least, I've read Fall With Me. This is Becca Max. This is in the Playing for Keeps series, book number 4. I enjoyed this. I gave this a high 3.5, 4-star. Because her writing, she be over the top with her. She writes some long books, and sometimes I say this book didn't need to be that long. So this is on hockey players. These books are on hockey players, and this is book number 4. I read book number 1. I skipped book number 2 because I didn't like the synopsis. I read book number 3. I gave book number 1. I think I gave it a high 3.5, 4-star. I didn't read book number 2. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hitting this camera again. And I read book number 3. I gave it same thing. I had 3.5, 4-star. And then I picked this up. This is on, like I said, there's the synopsis on here. This is on Jackson Riley. He is on vacation with a female that he met at the gym. He took her on vacation. He's a hockey player. And but him and the female that he took on this vacation, them two can't get along. So they're bickering out on the deck, and so happened next door, there's this other female. She's staying next door to them. She says she's on her honeymoon, but there's no man. So she came on this honeymoon by herself, and she started yelling at them like, why y'all always got to be arguing or whatever. And so it's a lot of bickering between her and Jackson. And then eventually the female that came with Jackson, she ends up leaving because he can never remember her name correctly. So she ends up leaving. Jackson ends up staying there by himself. And then, of course, him and the next door neighbor have a thing. I like the bickering. I like Becca Max writing. I like her dialogue between the main character. But only complaint I have about Becca Mack is she be going over the top with the friendship situation, because you meet all the characters from books 1, 2, and 3. They're still in here. It's a friendship, found family situation going, but it just be a little bit over the top for me. And then also some of the banter between the two main characters be a little bit over the top. She just be going over the top sometimes with some of her stuff. So that's why I gave it kind of like I want to give it a 3.5 star, but I'll give it kind of like a high 3.5, 4 star. Do I want to go back and read this again? No. Do I want to read the next book in the series? Yes. But it'll just be a little bit, like I said, this could have been short. How many pages in here? 482 pages. It could have been short because, like I said, she be doing a little bit too much with her friendship situation and the bickering between the two main characters. But overall, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoyed some parts of it. Some parts of it did. It evened out. Some parts I didn't. It was a little bit too much, and some part I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. So I gave it a high 3.5, 4 star. If you want to check it out, if you read Becca Mack, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. This is Fall With Me by Becca Mack, book number 4 in the Playing for Keeps series. And that's all I read. And I showed you the other book I'm already reading. I showed you Murder by Lamplight. I showed you that already. So I'm still reading on that. Oh, and I also wanted to show you, I think I mentioned in my last video that I had bought the book and I put it out by Felicity Niven's book number. And this is in a series. I wanted to show you this. This is in a series. This is in the Love Lock of London series. This is book 1 in the Love Lock of London series. I didn't read the other 2 books. I read the synopsis of the other 2 books, but they didn't catch my interest. This is the only book I wanted to read, so that's what I read, Convergence of Desire. I gave this a 4 star. I wanted to show you the book, let you know, because I think I mentioned that I got the book, and there's the synopsis of it. I read this in June. I read this in June. I think that's all I have for now, guys. I read 10 books so far in July. So I think I'm doing really, 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 really good. I read 10 books in July, and we still got a couple of days left in July. Four more days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yeah, we got 4 more days left in July. And I think I'm almost finished with Murder by Lamplight. I'm almost finished with that. So really it'll be 11 books. And what I'm going to read after that. Oh, let me show you what I'm going to read after I finish. I'll show you that book. Here it is. After I finish reading this, I'm on page 216 now. After I finish reading this, I'm going to get back on my, was anything on here? I think Fancy was the only thing on my TBR. Fancy and Mississippi Madness. Let's see here. These 2 right here are the only thing that were on my TBR. Everything else, I got off the TBR completely. So all those other books are not on the TBR. So these 2 were the only thing that I read off my TBR. And this is on the TBR. So once I finish reading Murder by Lamplight, I'm going to read Meagan McKinney, When Angels Falls. And look at that, step back. So I'll be starting this after I finish Murder by Lamplight. I will get back on the TBR. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on the TBR because there are a lot of other books that I want to read, but we will see. I'll be coming back doing a July, August, even though July is almost out, a July, August TBR. I'll come back and do that, and I'll show you. I got some new books I'm putting on the TBR, and I think I got about 4 or 5 books left on that TBR that I had keep pushing over. But I'm almost finished with the original TBR. I'm almost finished with all those books. I think maybe I got about 5 books left on there that I need to finish, and I'll be finished with that TBR, and then I could do a whole new TBR. But for now, I'm going to add some new books to the 5 books that I already got, the original books that I already got. I'll add a couple of more books, and I'll come back and show you the new TBR for, I guess I say August, from July and August, but mostly it's going to be August. I'll show you that TBR. I'll come back and do a TBR, updated TBR. But for now, this is what I'm going to be reading on after I finish A Murder by Lamplight. But that's all I have for now, guys. Until next time, keep reading those romances, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.